Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello and welcome to today's special interview session on STATATHON 2025, a first of its kind national level initiative jointly led by MOSPI, AICTE and MISC. This unique platform aims to develop new and forward-looking approaches for building national statistical products and indices. We are honored to have Shri Rohit Bhardwaj, Deputy Director General, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, with us today to discuss the vision behind STATATHON 2025, what participants can expect, and how this initiative aims to reshape the future of official statistics in India. Shri Bhardwaj, a very warm welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you and for having me here on this podcast. I'm very fortunate and I'll say very excited to be here.
Sir, could you briefly tell us about MOSPI's core role in governance and what inspired the launch of STATATHON 2025?
So MOSPI is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. It's the central ministry which looks after the data related aspects of the government of India, as well as it has the role to coordinate with the state government also. As you know, the entire statistical system of our country is horizontally divided among different departments in the government and vertically between state and center. So MOSPI's role is to coordinate and also to come out with very important socio-economic indicators like, as you all know, GDP, inflation, which is directly affecting us, then industrial indexes and things like those. In addition, we do a lot of surveys which helps us find out the conditions of our citizens in terms of socio-economic indicator, again like education, health, SDGs and things like those. So MOSPI plays a very important role in providing data for our governance.
So, could you please elaborate on the problem statements that STATATHON 2025 is aiming to target?
Let me put it this way, that all these problem statements are actually something which is happening in the field. So what we are looking at is we are trying to find a better solution, inclusion of the emerging technologies in our workflows. So there is nothing which we have proposed here which is like not happened yet, and we have just proposed it as part of a theoretical exercise. So in that context, these all problem statements are very, very important to us. Statements pertain to every part of the life cycle of the data, starting with the collection of the data, then analysis of the data, and then the dissemination of the data. So we have 5 problem statements which are catering to all these, so that we have, once we start getting solutions, we have solutions for all the parts of the life cycle of the data.
Okay. What kind of data sets the students and startups should refer to for each problem statement?
Okay, so I'll go one by one. Let's start with the first problem statement. I'm not going in a particular order, but let's talk about the problem statement which pertains to collection of the data. So now collection of the data is what happens that we undertake a lot of surveys. People go door to door to collect data of you, of me, and people like us. So here what we are trying to do, can we find a solution which is based on an AI tool so that it's easy to collect data. So what we are expecting is that there would be a tool which will help people give their data as well as help ministry to collect the data. And so far as your question regarding the data sets is concerned, what we can provide now, so what we can do is we can provide data sets or I should say the questionnaires which are of the previous survey round, so that people have the idea that what type of questions are asked, what type of flow is there. For example, there are certain questions which are only asked to the woman. So then I want the AI tool to understand now that the respondent is now woman. So I should ask these certain questions only to that person. So that type of, so to say, customization also we are looking at. Now coming back to the second problem. Second problem is what we are thinking of is we have the data sets available with us. So data is collected. Now data needs to be processed. Data needs to be fine-tuned. Data needs to be analyzed. Data needs to be tabulated. So at that point in time, we have certain formula with us. We have our method to do those things, but we want a very quick or a very, very so to say, smart way of doing this so that we can save time on these. As it is, we are doing it, but can we find something which helps us cut the time and we can analyze these things quickly? So for that also, we can also provide the participants with the checks we do, the tables we create, the weights we apply, so to get our estimates. All these of previous samples can be provided, sample surveys can be provided to them, and then they can work on it and on their solution. Similarly, for the dissemination part, where we are saying that we need to have a solution for disseminating our micro level data. Micro level data means perhaps the data which pertains to me, which pertains to you, which is your data, my data. Of course, these data are, in considering the data security part of it, are all anonymized, but still we make them available for the researchers. Now, at this point in time, all these data sets are available in a in a text file, not even in CSV file, but we want them to be available in a database so that people can use SQL queries, people can apply different filters and get the data what they want. Right now, what happens, that entire data set is made available to them. That unnecessarily clutters their PC, they clutters their machine, but we want them to, it's like giving them an option to get the data they want. So again, we have the data sets available. It's on the we have a micro data portal, and they can just go there and they can find the data. Similarly, for other two problems also, we have data sets of previous surveys or previous work, which we can share with them, and then they can work on it.
That's great, sir. Are there any key publications by MOSPI that the innovators and participants can refer to?
Oh, of course. So let me talk about our portals first. So the first portal is eSankhiki portal. It's www.esankhiki.mospi.gov.in. That can be accessed for the micro level data. So all the macro level indicators are available there. It has 135 million records. So people can go and access the data. Data is available on through a API, so no need to come to us for a permission. It's a publicly available data. People can go and get those data. Similarly, for the micro level data, that data which pertains to individual, which pertains to an entity, for those, we have a micro data portal that can also be accessed, and all the data sets can be is available there. Thirdly, we have our website. So websites, all the reports of previous years, all the sample survey reports, everything is available on that website, so people can access. So these three things, two of the portals, microdata portal and eSankhiki portal, and our website, which is www.mospi.gov.in, people can go and get any data they want.
So talking about the problem statements, one of the problem statement refers finding solutions for data security and encryption of unit level data of NSS. For the benefit of our listeners, can you please explain what NSS is at a broader level and its significance in Indian statistical system?
That's an important question, I say. National Sample Survey, that's an organization which started way back in 1950. And I mean, this STATATHON is happening to commemorate the 75th year of NSS.
Oh.
So we are celebrating the 75th year of NSS, and as part of it, we are doing this. And they are, as you can see behind my back, there's a logo also there showing 75-year National Sample Survey. And that National Sample Survey is an organization which undertakes large-scale socio-economic survey in the country. So we do survey to find the employment rate, we do survey to find the consumption pattern of the country, we do survey to find the educational level of the country, we do surveys to find the health part of it, and there are many health expenditure of the general citizen of the country, and many more. So the surveys we do is actually, I will say, in NSO, India is pioneer in large scale survey in the world, I can say very safely. And these data is basically is a true delight for researchers. I mean, I have heard many economists saying that many of the economics Nobel are part of the research which has done on these data. So now we want to make these data available to our innovators, so that they can create a solution which will help us disseminate this data in an even better manner, so that to unlock the reusability of this data even more, and so that everybody who wants to access this data to their liking can do that. So that is what we are trying to do here.
Great, sir. What is meant by NCO, and could you briefly explain its purpose?
Okay. NCO is National Classification of Occupation. It's a occupation code which Ministry of Labor does for us. So what happens that when we go for the survey, we ask, as part of our labor force survey, we ask people, what do you do? Now, we as statistician works in number, on codes, but people don't work in number and code. They give me answer in natural language. So if I ask you, or if you ask me, what do I do? I'll say I work in Government of India, or you'll say you work with AICTE. Now that needs to be mapped to a code. For this purpose, there is a code available. Now the issue is that the investigator who is asking this question has been trained on this, but the fact of the matter is that then and there it becomes difficult for him or her to actually match your response to a particular code. So that's what the problem statement is, that we want a solution which is Gen AI based solution. I'll say that's to our liking, where people will put in their response and at least 5 most likely code will be thrown by the AI model. So that is the idea. So what happens now, we have around 4,000 codes. Now, so if this use case works and this solution works, then what will happen, that we only have to grapple with, say, 5 codes. So that really saves time, that reduces the cognitive burden on our field investigator, and we can deploy them to a more productive work somewhere else. That saves a lot of time also. So that's all the idea is. So that's why we are putting this problem statement here.
Thank you, sir. So can you tell us about the kind of solutions you are expecting from the participants of STATATHON 2025?
I'll again say, please understand our workflow, and we will be happy to have another session on it, and perhaps we are planning another session on it, and we surely have more than one session on it, and then suggest something which can really be integrated into our workflow. We don't want a solution which is, which cannot be scaled up, or which is a very niche in its nature, and then it becomes difficult to implement that in a government setup. At the same time, being government, we also prefer open source. So we will prefer models which are open source. That doesn't mean that we are stopping anyone from using a proprietary model, but we will prefer a model which is open source, or we'll prefer a software stack which is open source. So I am expecting an open source based solution, with AI adequately integrated into it. I'll not say solely based on AI, but I'll say AI adequately integrated into it, and which reduces, which facilitates and reduces our time for a certain production we do. So that's how we look at it.
Thank you, sir, for providing all this information to us. Before ending, can you give one piece of advice to the listeners and the students participating in STATATHON, and how can their contribution support our vision of Viksit Bharat 2047?
So as you know, data is most important part of the governance now. Everyone needs data, and the amount of data. I say that we are living in the time of data deluge. So there are a lot of data coming to us, and the idea is to harness those data to make real time inputs for the policymaker. Now, going forward, Viksit Bharat, I only see Viksit Bharat happening if we have a strong data infrastructure available in the country, which helps the policymaker to take a decision with context. Many times we take decisions on our hunch, but now with data available, we can take decision on with the context, that this is the context for which we are taking this decision, and that will really help us, take the country forward. Now, if you ask me what I expect from the participants, I'll say, give us the solution which is implementable, and be with us to implement it going forward. Give us something which really improves the workflow of the MOSPI, NSO India, and we can then perhaps work together to take it to the higher levels. And believe me, we are very open to working with startups, working with innovators, working with students, because we feel that those are the people who come without baggage, and they can really make a difference. So again, I'll request everyone to participate in as much a number as possible. We are there to provide them all the assistance, and I also thank AICTE and Innovation Cell of Ministry of Education for partnering with us. We are very lucky to have the experienced people with us who have already done so many hackathons and grand challenges, and I look forward to picking up their brain and then make this whole exercise a truly wonderful and successful exercise.
So thank you for giving your valuable time and sharing all the insightful information required for STATATHON 2025. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Namaskar.